Hi everyone, hope you had a fabulous Christmas. I'm just out here on Boxing Day out at the local area known as we call it the Ojibwe Tallgrass area. It's a nature preserve though. It's a pretty cool little area we're lucky to have it in such an industrial city really. What I thought I'd come out here today is to talk about the 1120, not a review of it necessarily, but more talking about why I chose this bike as opposed to the hundreds of other bikes that I could have selected to do this type of thing with. Before we get any further though, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dean. I'm getting really close to 1,000 subscribers, guys. If you could hit that subscribe button and help me get there, it would really help me out a lot and I would appreciate it more than you could ever know. All right, so why did I choose the 1120? It really kind of came about just kind of naturally. I wasn't looking at the 1120. I was looking for a new bike though to do touring, as I was new to it and I had done some touring on a bike that was less than desirable, a full suspension Trek Fuel. Working in a Trek store, the 1120 came across my radar. I looked at it. It looked like a good all-around bike, which is what I was looking for. There's a lot of options out there as far as touring or bike packing. A lot of people in the bike packing sector are using gravel bikes. For me, that's not exactly what I like. With my injuries, the drop bars just aren't desirable for me. They would not be something I would use, so they're not a good bar. As you noticed, if you've watched any of my videos, I have switched to a Jones H bar, and I cannot say enough good things about it. So with the 1120, it's going to be different for everybody. For me to say it's an all-around bike is the way I have it set up. I mean, obviously, if you have it set up with mountain bike handlebars and big knobby tires, it's not going to be a good all-around bike. It'll be a really good hardcore bike packing bike, but it's going to be one-dimensional in that standpoint. For me, I have it set up. The three major changes I made to my bike from the first half of my trip last year to this year are the seat, the handlebars, and the tires. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to get a little different seating position here, get comfortable before we get talking to about this any further. So yeah, I chose the 1120 because I was looking for an all-around bike. With the changes I made to it, the three changes I've already mentioned, I feel like I've achieved that. I could ride this bike all day, no problem. Yeah, there are better bikes that if you're riding just on the road, you would want some narrow width tires, smoother rolling maybe. But I just really find with what I have it set up, so I'll start with the change I made to the handlebars, the Jones H bars. They allow me to get in a more upright position and be comfortable. So when I get into those longer days, my back's hurting, my neck's sore, I can sit a little more upright and just get a little more comfortable on the bike. The Jones H bars were a huge game changer for me in my setup for sure. The other big change I made was my saddle. I switched to a Brooks C15 Cambrium. Wonderful saddle, guys. For the price, Jones makes their more expensive leather saddle, but for an all-around saddle for touring where you don't have to worry about rain getting on it and all-day comfort, I have never owned a more comfortable saddle than the Brooks Cambrium, the C15. So that was a really big change. And then, as I mentioned, the tires. I am using Vittoria Mescals. I'm riding a 29 by 2.6. The only change I would make in that is maybe I might go down to a 2.4. But I've already ordered some 2.6s, so I probably will be sticking on them. The nice thing about the Vittorias is the tread pattern. It's directional, so when you're riding on pavement, you do get just a smoother feel, and the side knobbies on them aren't super aggressive, so where you just feel sketchy on turns and stuff like that if the knobs are too big. So I just really feel that Vittoria, for what they're made for, they are an excellent all-around tire. Bang for a buck too, they're one of the more affordable name brand, good brand tires out on the market as well. So if you're looking for a good all-around tire, I highly recommend checking out the Vittoria Mescal. Tires are hard to get like everything else now, so you may have to do some searching and scrambling, but if you can get your hands on a pair, I highly recommend it. So as I said, guys, too, there's a lot of other options out there. There's the gravel bike, which is essentially in many ways a road bike with some different changes made to it. Obviously, I'm not going to get into that. That's not what this video is about. But the gravel bike's just not for me. I find that I want to do some other riding that's maybe going to be a little more aggressive, and I do like the bigger diameter tire. It just makes the ride so comfortable. I have no suspension on my bike, and I don't think I'm going to add it to this bike. I am looking at some other bikes that I'm going to talk about in a minute here, but without suspension and the proper PSI in the tires, guys, this bike rides beautifully. No complaints at all. I spent many days where I exclusively rode on pavement, highways, side highways, secondary highways, all that stuff. And I never once thought to myself that I wish I had a different bike. Not one time did I ever think that, guys. So you're gonna set your bike up the way you want. There's thousands of different ways to set up a bike. They're all good and they all work. So whatever works for you is what's right for you. So people often ask me, like, what's the best bike I can get? To be honest with you, it's the bike that works for you, the bike that's going to make you want to ride it, the bike that's going to make you want to get out there and do things. If you get a bike and you're not comfortable, you're never going to want to get out there and ride it. So big part of the reason why I also chose the Trek 1120 is because I am a big Trek fanatic. I've been riding Treks for over pretty much 25 years now. There's a lot of great bikes out there. This is just what I settled on a long time ago, and I've been loving it for that long. So it's just the brand I like. There's a lot of other good bikes out there. I'm not going to get into it. I mentioned that I am looking at a couple other bikes, and I'll tell you what they are, and if you want to look at them, you can. But again, I'm not going to get into in depth about those until it's an actual thing. So the first bike I'll mention is the Koga World Traveler with the belt drive and the roll-off hub. That's one bike I'm looking at. The second bike is from a company called Priority, and it's the 600X, and it is also a belt drive, but it has pinion gearing. So I highly recommend checking those out, guys. The belt drive is just a maintenance-free system, and that's what I'm looking for going forward. Being a bike mechanic, I understand the beauty of that, and yeah, that'll be something for the future. So keep an eye out. Probably won't be this year. I'm thinking probably next year there might be a new bike or two in my future. So the 1120 is going to be put through her paces again this year, and I'm looking forward to doing it. No real changes going forward for this year to the bike. There's going to be a couple things, but I haven't got the parts yet, so I'm going to do a whole thing with the bike when I get the new parts and everything, just let you know what's going on. So all right, guys, as you see, I decided to throw myself a little coffee. It's not super cold for December 26th, to be honest with you, but it's a little chill in the air now that I've stopped, and I see there's a whole bunch of wild turkeys right over there. Thought I heard something while I was talking a second ago. I'm gonna get this coffee on, get it in my mug, and then I'm gonna wrap up this video, my thoughts on the 1120, so I'll get back to you in a second. Alrighty, nothing like a nice hot cup of coffee out in the woods. I don't know if you'll be able to see those turkeys over there. I don't have a lot of battery. I made a big mistake, guys. I brought my good DSLR out here, and I did not have a memory card in the camera, so I can't use it. So I've got about 35% battery life here, so oh, the turkeys are taking off. Let's see if I can still get some. There's a whole bunch of them. There's got to be at least 30 of them over here. So anyways, I'm going to drink this, and then I'm going to wrap up this video. So let me get my seat situated, and I'll get back to you in a second. All right, guys. Well, I got the coffee here. I'm just sitting down. So yeah, let's just wrap this up. The thoughts on, like I said, the 1120 for me, the choice why I chose the 1120, aside from my loyalty to Trek and the satisfaction I've had so far with their product, is just in being an all-around bike. I could have went with carbon. I could have went with other bikes. Aluminum is a really great bike building material just because of, since over the years they've been able to work on hydroforming it, so it's super light, it's durable, lasts a long time. But just for an all-around perspective, I just felt like the 1120 was the right bike for me. I'm looking at doing the Great Divide mountain bike route hopefully in the future. I may do it with that Priority bike that I mentioned. I may do it with the 1120. I'm not sure about that yet, but If you are looking for a good all-around bike, that you may have to make some modifications if you buy the complete bike. I bought mine from the frame and started from there, being a bike mechanic at a truck store. If you do buy the whole bike and you are looking for an all-dayer, you may have to make some changes to the cockpit, to the handlebars, the seat, stuff like that. But I definitely think it's a bike worth checking out. With a few modifications, you can definitely make it your all-day bike, and definitely an all-arounder. So anyways, guys, like I said, if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And some big announcements coming up in the very near future for what I'm doing for 2022, and a couple other big things too as well. So like I said, guys, thanks for sticking around, and I hope I see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.